Vaccination app for foreign residents in the pipeline. Face mask fines to be reduced to 1,000 Thai baht. And is vaccine hesitancy setting into the Thai population already? I'm Kieran Mack and you're listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show. Now, coming back to a story that will continue to be played out in the media, I'd say for weeks to come. Foreign vaccination, mobile app to be available or direct contact with hospitals from June. Now, I'm not a big fan of Thai Visa, but I have dug deeper into this story because I wanted to make sure it's fairly legitimate. It's from this website, Bangkok Biz News. I've gone through it and it's fairly accurate. So basically, it's saying that foreigners living in Thailand will be able to register for vaccinations against COVID-19 from June using either a mobile app or a direct contact with hospitals. This was announced by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday, and it was reported in the Bangkok Business News. Foreigners are unable to use the MoreProm app, but other channels are now being prepared so that non-Thais living in the country can get their vaccination from next month. They went on that everyone, not just Thais, should be vaccinated, and especially in the vulnerable groups. So the over 60s and the group with these 7 pre-existing conditions that you could have as well to qualify for that. So that's a good thing. I think it's putting a lot of people's minds to rest now that definitely the vaccine will be available to them. We can get on to the next question, is what vaccine will be available to you and what you will take. But at this stage, it is looking positive. The news stories are definitely coming out and the right words are coming out from the right people. So that's something positive, and hopefully we'll start to hear about people being vaccinated in the next month or so. The next story is that the government are going to cut the fine on face masks. So the government is set to reduce the fine imposed on people who fail to wear face masks in public from 6,000 baht to 1,000 baht for their first time offence. Those who break this law can currently be fined up to 20,000, with first time offenders being fined at least 6,000. The Public Health Minister said after a meeting with the National Communicable Disease Committee, that it had approved a decision to reduce the fine for first time offenders. The fine for a face mask violation can be exempted or reduced to avoid causing a burden on the public. More police officers and staff from the Department of Corrections are expected to be tasked with enforcing the face mask policy. Apart from the face covering policy, social distancing and hand washing are still important measures to help us overcome the COVID-19 crisis. So there you go. The face mask fine now is being reduced to 1,000 baht for a first-time offender. It's still twice that, or 2.5 times the amount for not wearing a helmet on a motorbike. So go figure that. But imagine if they had steep fines for not wearing helmets on bikes. I think a lot of people would wear a helmet. It seems to work with the face masks, but I guess only when there's a will, there's a way, right? The last story of the day is vaccine hesitancy setting into the Thai population already? And the numbers seem to back that up. So currently the vaccination plan is for Thailand to vaccinate anyone who's 60 or older, or anyone with one of the 7 underlying illnesses that they have laid out in the plan. And at present, the population has been calculated having 11.7 million people who are 60 or older and 4.3 million people with one of the 7 underlying illnesses. So that's 16 million people that they're planning to vaccinate over the next few months. The only issue with that, and they want to vaccinate all of them, but the only issue with that is that there's only 1.5 million have actually registered to be vaccinated. And that seems like a very, very big problem for Thailand in its goal to vaccinate 70% of the population. And questions need to be asked is why this is happening. You know, what are the reasons? Is it a religious reason? Is it vaccine mistrust? Is it government mistrust? Is it a lack of technology? Is it a lack of awareness, a lack of knowledge? And I think the answer to this question, it's all of those things. I think the problem right now is that communication on the vaccines has been poor. I think some of the figures that have been thrown out there are not correct by the government to do with efficacy and and other things like that. But needless to say, that's not the problem. But a lot of people are hearing stories about side effects, and they're hearing stories about this, that, and the other. And I think it's become kind of scary for older people, and they don't want to get vaccines. They want to wait and see. And I asked a couple of people I knew during the week, are you getting the vaccine? What's your plan? Or have you got it yet? And their exact plan was no, or their exact response to me was no, I haven't got it yet. I don't trust it. And I'm just going to wait and see. And maybe towards the end of the year, if I change my mind, I'm going to get it then. So that seems to be the mindset of a lot of people right now. So, and I mean, it's backed up by the severe lack of people that have even registered to get a vaccine. Bearing that in mind, I think this country could be awash with vaccines by July and August, because I don't know if the uptake is really going to be there. So if you're a person who believes in vaccines and believes that a vaccine is going to get your life back, I think we're not going to have a problem getting vaccines. That's my honest opinion. I don't know what you think, but maybe you can let me know down in the comments. But I think we're going to be okay here in Thailand, from our perspective. Before I go, I just wanted to recommend to you something very interesting I've recently found and been listening to. Free old-time radio shows from the golden age of radio. Here you will find some of the most popular radio programs of the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Before television, radio provided entertainment by presenting radio plays and programs of mystery, intrigue, and comedy. There was also lots of sports and soap operas, etc., etc. But I found this website, OTR.net, and it has thousands of shows from the 30s, 40s, and 50s that you can listen to. You just need to download the real player onto your computer, and you can play these files. But alternatively, there is an app that you can download on the Google or the App Store called the OTR Streamer. Now that has 20,000 hours of old-time radio shows. So it's the kind of thing you can listen to before you go to bed, or if a person likes to listen to Audible, or an audio book, maybe you'd like to try this for a while. The shows are fantastic, and there's so much drama put into them, and they're just really, really great. I'm just really enjoyed listening to them. And if you want to, I'll leave the link down in the bio below, and you can check them out. And that's really it. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating. We are available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.